let's see if you can see it here. It's called Total Commander. I'm going to open. I downloaded it and installed it. I haven't paid for it yet. It's about 38 bucks. I believe it's a German company, and you can do it through PayPal, or they have a company that they deal with, I believe. But it's either, I think it's Swiss now that I think about it, because I think they talk about the Swiss money. But anyway, you know what? I don't know the answer. His question was, well, can you buy it and use it on more than one computer? You can, but I don't know for sure if that falls into the category of the license, but it will work. It is shareware. You can download it tonight, or today when you go home. And it's fully functional. However, when you start it up, you get this screen. And every time it starts up, you have to push a different button, so you can't automate it. And so I have to push number 3, and it goes away. That's the only difference between the paid and the unpaid. And at the end of 30 days, it doesn't die. You can do that for years, and it won't matter. So take it for what it's worth. Right now, I've been using it this way. I'm finding I'm using it more and more, so I'm going to go ahead and pay the money and register it. This is what it looks like right out of the box. I just before I get into this too much, and before Stan comes up and joins me, because he's going to help me, we're going to go through some of the setup screens. What I want to do is explain what happened. How many of you remember my computer that every couple of minutes it would make a noise?
Yeah.
Okay, that was a problem I had with this particular computer when it was XP. And if you recall, a year ago, October, I ran a program. I did a demonstration of a program called PC Mover, and we moved it from XP to Windows 7, and all the programs got moved with it. Do you recall that? Were some of you here for that? Well, when I did that, that noise came with it. And I don't use this computer a lot, but I do use it at the meetings, and sometimes at home I've started to use it more and more to do some other things. And so this past month, since the last meeting, I finally said, you know what, it's time for that noise to quit. And trust me, I spent many hours not turning off various drivers and programs to see which one was causing it, because what it was something was trying to turn on, it couldn't find it, and then it would make the noise when it turned off. So it made two noises, turning on, and then when it couldn't find whatever it was looking for, it made the noise again and turned off. And so that noise, to me, was very annoying. So what do you do when you can't find the problem for your computer? You wipe and you reload. So instead of using the update that I did from XP to excuse me, Windows 7, I wiped it and just installed Windows 7. And so I'm slowly putting programs on. I said, well, this is a good time that I'll have some programs on here, and I'll go ahead and I'll put Total Commander on, and it'll be a fresh version with nothing done with it, and I can use it to demonstrate, and that's how I got here today. There's probably some other things that we may run into that I don't have installed on here that we may want to install. One of them was a program that I use for zipping, but I think it's got some built-in stuff that we should be fine for today. Hopefully Stan might show up here in a few minutes.
He's here.
I know he's here. He's not here. Anyway, this is Windows Commander. And it remembered the last place I was at when I used it. And that's a setting that I can tell it I want to do that, or I want it to always open in the same place. So what we're going to do is when Stan gets up here, we'll go through the different settings, and as we set them, we'll take a look at what it does. But by doing this, I can take something from, let's say here, and all I gotta do is drag it over here and drop it. It asks me okay, and I say okay, and it's denied, and then, oh, it wants to, well, I'm not sure why. Let's take this. Actually, I don't even have to do that. All I gotta do is highlight the file. Oops. By pushing the space, I'm just learning how to do this.
You have to do it on the icon on the far left. If you do it on the name, the way you did it,
Yeah.
that's how to rename it.
You hit the space bar and it tags it. So if I wanted to do two of them, I come up to this one and I hit that one and I space bar and that turned it to red. Then all I gotta do is come down here and I can copy it. Now it's going to say, do I want to do that? And I say, okay. And it's not letting me. Well, it do it as administrator, so now it goes to black.
And it also, bringing that up, killed it on the screen.
Yeah.
I don't fully understand why it's doing that. I see that on mine sometimes. I don't. It's not just Windows 7. It'll sometimes happen in XP.
I probably have to tell, it's probably the, and it's still not the same thing. Skip or rename.
It looks like I got one of them.
Yeah, well, it did because I told it to do it all, I should have hit all of it as administrator and it would. All right, now they're here now. That's a setting again. And I probably have to, let's go to total commander, and I'm guessing here, if I right mouse click here and under properties, tell it to run as administrator.
Well, there was an option on that previous screen that did say run as administrator.
That's correct, but it would only do it that time. I'm going to say it to do it all the time. Advanced, I can't remember where it is. Shortcut. Run. No,
Advanced down on the bottom right.
no, that's what I just, open file location, general security. Well, I don't want to spend a lot of time doing that. We'll get that.
Doesn't happen very often.
And I'm probably doing it in the wrong, I'm trying to do it in the wrong place. But anyway, you can see it's very easy just by, and I can hit, if I'm like Ted and like the keystrokes, it tells me right here if I want to copy F5 or I can click here. Same with, if I want to move it, I just hit F6 and it will move whatever I've tagged. And it's very nice, and you can move around and get to wherever you want.